Hey, welcome. I'm just getting everything set up. Give me a minute. All right, what's up, everybody? What is happening? What's up? What's everybody playing? I think I'm going to stream a little bit of this tonight. I'm going to do the VR stuff. So, Ace Combat. We also got in Onimusha. They did an HD remaster for Onimusha. Kind of cool. Nobody's going to talk, though, are they? Talk to me. Oh, comments are going through again. God darn it. What's up, Krell? Probably like 9:30, 10, Robert. God, PlayStation sucks. You know, I should have known it was doing it again because I tried to stream VR yesterday, and I saw people. I didn't see any comments, so I just assumed it was weird because my it said my internet connection dropped, so I assumed nobody was watching. But afterwards, I saw people were watching. Yeah, I'm gonna do that tonight. Let me load up YouTube on here so I can see the comments right on here. I just throw the comments on my on here. I don't know what Sony's doing, man. They need to fix that crap. No, it just started working. I didn't do anything special, Crow. It's Sony. Every once in a while it goes down. It's some stupid thing with Sony streaming. There's really nothing I can do. It either works or it doesn't. I've never seen. There was a time like a year ago where it did this, and then they got it fixed, and then now it seems like it's doing it again every now and then. What's up, Mutt Master? Yeah, so I can see the comments here, so I'll just read the comments on my phone. It just sucks because if anybody wants to play this back later, they're not going to see the comments and they won't know what the hell, you know. I'll just look like some weirdo talking to myself. But I guess that's normal. It's weird if you're on YouTube. You know, though, if you play it on YouTube, it'll show the comments, so I guess it depends where they play it. Yeah. But my internet the last couple of days has been kind of wonky, but it's not. I'm at the store now, so. Oh, I'm behind on my podcast. I haven't even done my podcast yet because I was on Tuesday night. I got sick, and most of the day yesterday I was sick, so I haven't. And of course, it was my day off. I always joke with my kids. My kids were making fun of me because I always joke when it's my day off. That's the day that the kids have like a snow day or school's canceled for some reason. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And I was also sick on top of it. So it was like a double whammy. When do I expect to see the PS5 and the XX? I'm going to guess. I'm going to say it's most. I mean, I would say there's probably a 70% chance it's going to be 2020. It's going to be next year, like next fall. So, snow, we barely, not even an inch, but it is coming down right now. It just started like a few hours ago, but there's like none on the road yet or anything. It's really supposed to kick in for us tomorrow, Robert, or Crow. Yeah, I'm feeling better today. It was weird. It was only like a 24-hour thing. I'm fine. I'm back to normal. And honestly, if I'm gonna get sick, I would take that type of sickness all day. It wasn't a throw up sick. I was discussing me being sick, but I just ached and like I had a headache, and I thought I might throw up, but I just went to bed early on Tuesday night. I slept for like 12 hours, and then I was just like achy yesterday, and then by the night I started feeling better. So I guess if you're gonna get sick, that's the way to do it. It wasn't too bad. It was like a 24-hour thing at most. I wonder how much snow they'll have for the Kansas City and New England game this weekend for football. Kind of interested in that. What's up, Foods? But I got a few topics for my podcast. Anybody got anything they want me to talk about on my podcast this week? Yeah, Adam, it depends on the game too. Like some games I can play forever in VR. But yeah, sometimes it's the movement of like those first, especially the ones with like low frame rates. Those are the ones that get you. It's the frame rate I think that really like kind of messes with you, and also it kind of messes with you because your brain's telling you you're moving, but you're really not. And I think it has something to do with like when you're moving in real life, there's like a liquid in your ear that moves along with you, and it can sense. But when your brain thinks you're moving, but that's not, I think that's where it screws with people. I'm hoping I'm going to do Ace Combat tonight. I hope this one doesn't get me too much. So I'm going to try the VR part of it tonight. So we'll see. Borderlands VR. Now, I haven't played Borderlands VR. Does that teleport or does it you don't do you move in that one or do you teleport? I did see the new Mortal Kombat trailer, Foods. It looked cool. So what do you do, Krell? Do you move or do you teleport? Because I think the movement is what gets to people. I think the teleporting is less stressful to most people in VR. MK11 did look cool. It looked cool. I was trying to get online earlier to do a quick little, stream here, but I had the weirdest situation. We have I want to show you guys. We have a possessed controller. I got it apart right now, but this controller here, PlayStation 4 controller, it kept connecting to this PS4. And there's something wrong with the PlayStation button. So, like, it was connected, and every time you would hit the PlayStation button, it was like the PlayStation button was constantly getting hit. So whenever you hit, when I was using a different controller here, whenever I used the controller, it would go into the program, but then this one would exit out. So I turned this controller off. I even, like, put it, like, across the room. I reset it. I even pushed there's a little, for those of you guys that don't know, there's a little hole right here on a PlayStation, and you can reset the controller. And in theory, when you do that, it's not synced to the system anymore. This one would automatically resync, and it would keep doing that. So I couldn't enter into the playroom because every time I entered in, this one would exit out. So I actually had to take this controller apart and unplug the battery so I could to get it to stop from connecting to this PS4. It was the most bizarre thing. I mean, I turned off the PS4, I unplugged it. So I have a demon controller. Teleporting was too awkward for you. Yeah. You beat the Resident Evil 2 demo in 17. I did not beat it. I only played it once though, but I did not beat it. I got stuck in stupid places, so I don't know. I'm probably going to talk about the Resident Evil demo a little bit on my podcast tonight. when I record my podcast. I will probably not buy Resident Evil 2 when it comes out. The story is pretty much the same. It does look good, but there are some things that annoy me on it. They did the announcement today on MK11. They did like a whole little show based on. They did a live show based on it. They did a lot of reveals today. Raiders. You can go check it out on YouTube. But they did a live broadcast talking all about it. Looked awesome. I thought one of the cool things was Sonya Blade was what's her name, the UFC fighter. God damn it, it's blowing my mind. I got a blank. What's her name? What's the UFC lady that's Sonya Blade? Somebody tell me. Yeah, Ronda Rousey. That's it. I don't know why I couldn't think of her name. Ronda Rousey's Sonya Blade. That's kind of cool. It looks really good. I know those the Resident Evil games are really like, but for me, opening every door, searching every drawer does nothing for. Adam, I'm kind of like that too, and I'm gonna. Krell, you'll probably hear this again if you listen to my podcast. I'm kind of like that too. I'm kind of over that formula where you got to go find a key card, then go back. You go to a door, it's locked. You need a key card, and then you got to go back to this place. And then, like, one of the puzzles in there that I thought was kind of stupid, they have, like, this thing taped up. And for whatever reason, I know I'm stupid. I didn't put this through my head. Like, later on in the part, I got a knife, and then you could cut the tape. In real life, man, if there's freaking zombies attacking you, you're just going to rip that tape off. It just, like, little things like that are dumb to me, that you still have that in the game. Like, I can't get in that box because there's duct tape on it. Like, really, you need a knife? If it was real life, you just rip that duct tape off. Crash Team Racing looks good. You like the Xbox One MK, but you didn't play it that long? Yeah. I mean, either. Then this is kind of weird. I mean, Resident Evil comes out real soon, and then Capcom puts this out. They remade Onimusha. They did a high def remaster, so it's got the same amount of polygons. They just like cleaned it up a little bit. Kind of wondering why bring that out now when Resident Evil's coming out so soon. They should have brought this out before Christmas. I'm going to talk about that on my podcast too. I hope Ghostbusters 3 doesn't suck either, because, you know, I love Ghostbusters. And now, obviously the last Ghostbusters wasn't the best one, but I didn't have a problem with it as much as everybody else did. Me and my daughter and I, we love Ghostbusters, and I got her hooked on Ghostbusters when she was little. We used to watch all those. I have like every one of the Saturday morning cartoons like on DVD, and she used to watch those things all the time. And they were really good like the first few seasons, and they got stupid towards the end. They got lower quality, but they were really good. That was an awesome Saturday morning cartoon, and my daughter got hooked on the Ghostbusters. Then she watched the actual movies. She loved them. So her being a girl too, she kind of was excited when it was girl Ghostbusters, which I didn't have a problem with that. It was okay, though. It wasn't the greatest movie. Metro Exodus does look good. Yeah, there were Ghostbusters towards the end got really stupid on the cartoons. It got really kiddie, really low quality. But the first, 3-4 years were phenomenal. They were really well drawn, and the stories were amazing, and it sounded like real science, even though most of it was made up, but it sounded like it was based in reality. It was kind of cool. There's a Ghostbusters VR PlayStation VR thing, and I almost bought it the other day, but I watched a review of it, and it's like super short, and people say it's not worth the money, so I didn't buy it. I want to do it, but I'll probably wait for it to go down cheaper. I just don't want to pay for something that's going to take me like 15 minutes to go through. You had the Postman figure from Ghostbusters cartoon. I used to have a little Ecto 1, I remember when I was little. I don't know what ever happened to it, and I had a couple of little figures, but that was about it. Yeah, that Spider-Man VR thing, it took me like 7 minutes to do. And you could probably do it in 5 if you just do everything like you're supposed to. At least it was free. Yeah, Carl, I feel the same way. After getting that, I'm not going to pay for the Ghostbusters one, even though I love Ghostbusters. And actually, if you guys have never played it, the Ghostbusters game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 is awesome. Actually, it's actually backwards compatible on Xbox One, if you can find it. Awesome game. And it's cool. It's got all the original Ghostbusters in it. It's like you're a new member of the Ghostbusters. It's really well done. Looks great on Xbox One as well. I don't know. No Man's Sky would be kind of cool in VR. Mr. Fusion Shadow, the VR Ghostbusters based off the 2016 movie. Don't buy. The 2009 game was good on Xbox and PS3, but it kind of sucked. If you got it on Wii, they made a Wii and a PlayStation 2 one, and it was okay, but that was all cartoony and it looked kind of dumb. I don't know why my nose is itching. What's up, Eric Garcia? Resident Evil 2, it's cool. I don't know. I'm going to keep streaming, but it is 7, so I got to go lock my door. Give me 1 second. I got to go lock the door. It's snowing pretty. Yeah, you guys can't see that. If you look, let's see here. If you look right there, you can kind of see the snow coming down. It's coming down pretty good out there. I'll tell you the type of games I like in VR. Besides, I like Creed. I've been playing Creed way too much. I love Creed. Astrobot was cool. I really want more games that are like... I want a House of the Dead game in VR. I know there's some games like that, but... And it's hard to find good reviews on VR games. Some of them that I think look really cool, I just don't want to spend that much money for them. But I want more gun games, like the Evil Dead game was cool. Not Evil Dead. Rush of Blood. Evil Dead. Yeah, Rush of Blood was good. What's up, David Cleveland? What's happening? It does suck that Resident Evil... You know what's dumb about the Resident Evil only 30 minutes? Like, I felt like I was rushing and then I was making mistakes because I was rushing. I was trying to go as fast as I can. I don't... Yeah, Time Crisis in VR, Virtual Cop would be good. Any of those... Yeah, David just said that was almost at the exact same time. Any of those games would be awesome in VR. I might get that Gungrave game because it looks kind of cool. I saw somebody streaming it earlier today. But games like that are perfect for VR, especially you got 2 guns. It's badass. But the Resident Evil demo, it bugs me that it was 30 minutes because, like, you can make it just... You're only confined to a couple areas anyway. I don't understand the time limit constraint. Like if people want to like just kind of poke around in those areas, I don't get the 30-minute time limit. I just don't get it at all. I did not get Beat Saber, Adam. Just man, honestly, I can just tell you it's not my thing. I don't see myself playing that. I think it looks fun, and I think a lot of people would love it. Just not my thing. I'm not into music rhythm type things. I'd never like Guitar Hero or any of that stuff, so just not my thing. Troy is getting upset about something. You didn't say HI. You said the other high. What's up, SWAT member? You know, David, I think the 199 sale over the holidays really made a big deal. It was a big deal, and a lot of people bought them. It sold a lot better. They should just lower the price to 199 all the time. Nathan, don't worry about you don't have to put people in timeout, Nathan. But thank you. Don't just. I don't think he was being mean, Nathan. You probably shouldn't have timed him out. He was just being weird. I think I'm gonna get super hot. I think that's probably my next game to get. That looks pretty badass. Got a mess over here. Oh, I gotta close up. I'll keep talking the question. And treat yourself the Switch and Super Smash Bros. Good job. Those are awesome. Yeah, I think once they make it wireless, it'll be a big improvement. It's got to be wireless. Like right now, the way I have mine, I have it in my streaming room. There's like a pole in the middle of my room, and it's got a hole in it. And I bought this big hook, and it's bolted like up towards the ceiling. And I have the wire from the PS4 up into that hook, and so it comes to my head, but so I don't have to worry about tripping over the cord. So I got full movement, and the cord is like kind of up. I know most people can't do that. I think that's a big flaw with VR is when you got this cable like that you got to worry about getting tangled up in. You're not really feeling it? It looks cool. Do I get to play anything before release? Yes, all the time. Like this comes out tomorrow. I'll probably stream it tonight. I'll probably do the VR tonight. So, yep. All the time I get games early. Usually it's only a day or two in advance. Sometimes it's really early. I mean, I've gotten stuff up to a week in advance. So heck yeah, I just can't sell them, but I sure can play them. I mean, there are some times where I have to sign agreements. I didn't on this one, but I have to sign agreements where you agree to not even display, which means I can't play it. I can play it, but I couldn't stream it. But or you can't display it anywhere in the store, which is silly. But yeah, I already got a PS5. You're right, Carl. I forgot about that. It's been a while since I got. It's not a PS5. It's a development kit. It's a PS5 development kit. Somebody sent me a question for the show. If all physical media for video games are eliminated, what's my next go-to as a business? Which I might answer that on my podcast. They need analogs on the Move controllers. You know what's funny is I'm shocked that I'll show you guys. Hold on one second. guess I'm out. They used to have what they called a navigation controller, and it was like a nunchuck. And I guess I'm out. But they used to have that for the PS3. But I guess I don't have them anymore. Why can't you live stream on Switch? Because Nintendo is backwards and they didn't build it in. I do live stream on Switch now, but I do it through my computer. They just don't have it built into the system yet. Dude, I can't. If I stream my podcast while I'm recording, I stop and start so often in there. And like that, I would probably cut out that big I just did right there. So I'm constantly starting and stopping. And I constantly occasionally I'll get tongue-tied and and I'll stop and go back and record that part. So it wouldn't be that exciting. What's up, nerd? Delv's a big nerd. Do it like VGO. You know, I should get Derek more often where me and him will sit there and talk and interact with you guys. But the only thing is if I do it like VGO, I don't think John and Michelle would be happy if I had a different podcast too. I don't know. I'm trying to. They did such a. They're really nice too, even though John shits on me all the time. To put me on their podcast was pretty cool. So they have such a big following that was like a huge jump start for me doing a podcast. So I'm going to keep doing it on there. Maybe I'll throw an episode every now and then, like I did with the Nathan Barnett episode. I threw that on there a few weeks later. Maybe I'll throw some of my older ones on YouTube. Maybe I'll do something else like that, like Robert suggested. But it won't be the Game Store guy. It'll be something else. I'll do like the one time I did a test where I had Derek in and we were just talking back and forth. We did a Google Hangout. Maybe I'll do some Google Hangouts. All right, I have to close out. Do my sports talk podcast? Yeah, that could be live. I could do a streamception with Delve. She can wear that shirt again that she got from me, the streamception shirt. Delve bought one. Gamester guy. Well, today kind of sucked. Today was slow. Today was a slow day. Yeah, you know what's funny though about them having a call in that I thought of? I'm like, who's gonna want to call in and have John shit on him constantly? Because that's all he's gonna do. They got one guy calling, and Matt tried to fake call. I listened to it. I listened to the podcast today from a couple days ago. If I would have been feeling better on Tuesday night, I went to bed at about 9:30 that night. If I was feeling better, I would have called in and just said that they need some more Game Store guy. They need the Game Store guy on there more often. I would have tried to disguise my voice. I'm sure it wouldn't have worked, but I would have done it. It's kind of intimidating going on there. You know you're going to get shit on. So, I mean, I grew up, the way I grew up, I actually thank my stepdad and all his friends and all the kids that grew up around me. We grew up, we always shit on each other, and it's not personal. So like I got very thick skin, and I got used to just letting everything just go. So when John and Michelle, shit on me or whatever, mostly John, it doesn't bother me. I know he's just doing it, to be entertaining. So I'm used to it, but a lot of people, especially nowadays, are offended by everything. So it's going to be hard for them to get people to call in my opinion. Matt was an idiot, though. He was echoing. You could hear him on both sides. Matt was stupid how he did it. He forgot to mute his mic on the other, on the stream. So, like, you could hear the echo. Yes, the wussification of America is so true. Should call in anyway. Yeah, I can't believe nobody called in, though. I thought Ty would call in, or Ted. Like, people that, I thought they would get a few people that may have already been on the show and stuff to call in. I would have called in if I wasn't, like, super sick. One second. What's funny is, like, God, there's so many times I wish I was on the show, though, and I'm not. Like, I swear they have me on the show, and then they'll have a topic, and I usually agree with them. And then when I'm not on the show, they'll have a topic that I completely disagree with them, and I actually would fight with them on it. You're going to call in and call me out? All right, sweet. Call and leave a voicemail, too. Those are always funny. I think people like to leave voicemails because they know you're not getting confronted live. I'll be honest, like, I listen to David Jaffe, even though he's the guy that made God of War. He does a live show like almost every day now. And I listen to him, and I disagree with him probably on like 70% of the shit he says. And I get into it with him. But I don't want to call because it's hard to... Sometimes it's hard for me to portray... Like, I'm not the most eloquent speaker in the world, and it's hard for me to vocalize exactly what I'm thinking. Sometimes it's easier if I think about it ahead of time and then do it. It is a little bit intimidating sometimes to speak live like that. What's funny, Krell? Like, John gave me so much shit about that, which it was a shitty podcast. But then, like, last week, not this week, but last week, that was a shitty podcast. And he was, like, doing lists of stuff, and can't always be at the top of your game. Yeah, I'm not an eloquent speaker, and I don't have a huge vocabulary. I do consider myself smart, and I understand everything. I just don't have the words all the time. God damn it, I keep putting 18 instead of 19. How long till that stops for the year? Also, I'm kind of a professional smartass, so I do piss people off a lot. I've always been that way. It was a few weeks ago, I made my sister cry because I was just being a smartass. She deserved it, though. And I really didn't think I was that bad, but she kept asking me, like, the dumbest questions, and I was kind of a smartass about it. And she just, like, I'm like, how old are you? Why are you getting upset? And, like, it's funny because my wife and kids are used to it now. Like the other day, I was wearing this. This is like a typical example of how I'm a smartass. I was wearing a Buckeyes jersey because I'm a big Ohio State Buckeyes fan. This was like a couple weeks ago when the Buckeyes played in their bowl game. So I'm wearing Buckeyes jersey, Buckeyes hat, and I'm all Buckeyes colors, okay? And I said something about the game. I just said the game to my wife. Oh well, something was going on. She's like, oh, what? Why is everybody's probably watching the game tonight or whatever? And she goes, who's playing? And I go, really? Like, and she's like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, so I always, whenever anybody says anything stupid like that, I like point it out. My wife admitted that was stupid. No, but my sister kept asking me. Okay, I went to. This is what I can't even believe my sister got all upset. But I went to a family like get together the night before, like for like extended family. Where's my stapler? And so my sister asked me how it went. I was like, oh, it was good. She's like, well, who was all there? I go, all the usual family members or whatever. And she's like, well, what did they have to eat? And I'm like, pizza. And they had pizza and they had like some cookies and like snacks. And she's like, well, what kind of pizza? And I'm like, what? I go, why does it even matter what kind of pizza? Who cares? It's pizza. Pizza's pizza. They had a bunch of pizza. I'm like, I'm not going over all the different flavors of pizza and the different toppings. And then she asked me something else, and we were talking about my daughter. My daughter just got a car, and she's just now driving. And she has a cousin that age, and I go, oh, did you hear our cousin got in an accident? And I go, and she's like, she did? And I go, she's all right. I go, all I know is she got in an accident. Her car got wrecked, and she's okay. They're going to get her a new car. It wasn't her fault, and that's all I know. And then she's like, well, how did it happen? And I'm like, I don't know. And then she's like, well, where did it happen? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, what? She asked me like a bunch of other questions. I go, I told you she got in an accident. The car was wrecked. She's okay. I don't know any other details. And she kept asking me questions, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. How many times do I got to tell you? I don't know. And she got all mad, and that's what made my sister cry. Because I was kind of being a jerk saying, I don't know. I don't know. And then my mom comes in and goes, she got in an accident? Where did it happen? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Your mom is like, oh my God, it's so frustrating me. If I tell you all the details and I say that's all I know, that's all I know. The conversation in my mind is over. But in my sister's mind, she's still going to ask a bunch of questions that I don't know the answers to. And I got frustrated with her. And then next thing I know, I go in the other room and my sister's crying, and I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm like, are you serious right now? She's like, you're such a jerk. And I'm like, how old are you? And she's like, what? I go, how old are you? Like, seriously. And I go, I go, I'm sorry I upset you, but come on. So yeah, I know it's not a cool story. I just want to get it off my chest. Then my sister will never ever watch this. And my sister used to, she's older than me too. She used to torture me when we were younger. So I look at it as payback from when I was a little kid and she used to torture me. You have an older brother that gets mad. I'm sorry, but like, oh. And I guess I've always been that way. So I'm trying to work on not being as big of a smartass as I usually am. But Luckily, I thought my wife was going to be mad at me for making my sister mad, but nobody was mad at me. Nobody was mad at me but my sister, so they all agreed she was just being a drama queen. So, all right, I got to get out of here. My backup is done. I got to send it to my other store, and then I'm out of here. So, thanks everybody. I will stream that. I will stream this sometime tonight, probably around 10ish, I'd imagine. Ace Combat 7. So, look for that. But I got to run. I'm losing. I think my story lost a bunch of people anyway because I wasn't talking video games. So, I only got 9 people, so I'm gonna take off. I'll see you. Scottish Gamer, you have a wee brother, but he's a pain. Yep. Brothers and sisters can be pains in the butt. So, I will see you guys later. Thanks for listening to me bitch about my sister.